Hey guys, we're here at the Knoxville Driveline shop. We are going to get started today. We're going to be building an off-road shaft. I'm super excited to show you the difference in an off-road shaft and your normal automotive shaft. So if you ever need anything, obviously you can hit up Knoxville Driveline, but there's plenty of great driveline shops out there, and we're going to show you how it's done in the drive shaft world. So let's get started. Yahtzee!
Today was awesome.
How was you?
Bleeping stickies.
All right, guys. Well, meet Adam with Knoxville Driveline. So today we are going to build the drive shaft, get started on that. It's going to be an off-road shaft I've already mentioned. We're going to do a shop tour and check out how all this is done. I've never actually seen how a drive shaft is made, so I'm super curious about that. So what do you guys say?
Bring it on, let's go.
Bring it on? Let's do it.
Let's go.
Adam, tell me what we got here. And by the way, everybody, Steve, we just confirmed, is the shaft master. And Steve is one of the main guys here at Knoxville Driveline. So what we got?
Pretty sanitary stuff. Westport balancer, RL valve, hollow bore lathes. What'd you call them, Steve? Little red and big blue?
Big red and little blue.
Okay, I had it backwards.
Big red and little blue. It's looking at this lathe. Holy cow, it's got a big old hole in it. That thing can accept now you could put that welding tank in there.
You probably could.
Yeah.
It's a 5-inch tube in there.
Yeah. So it has a giant through hole lathe chuck, if you want to call it that. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Is that how you say it? So so that's super neat. So here is the through hole lathe. They said it's a 10-inch hole, right, Steve?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, that thing's massive.
Well, we got it that big because we've got some shafts that are. Show you here just a second. Adam's going to break it. We'll show you why we have to have something that big. It's not only for 1 3/4 up or down or up.
Whoa! Look at that. That's the Popeye.
Yeah.
Whoa! You should look at that thing. That's like the Popeye of shafts. Holy cow! Look at this. Oh, that's my hand's 9 inches right there. That thing's 9 inches across right there. Oh, y'all can't see that. My goodness, it looks small in the camera. That thing is a beast. Okay, look at the cap. Like, does that say anything? Wow.
Go ahead and bring it on. We're delivering the cash. That's what we're doing.
So,
Okay.
oh, that thing is a beast.
That's why it's a 10-inch bore.
Well, that explains what the big bore was for. I mean, check out that slip yoke. Holy cow, it's a whole hand. That's like a 48-ounce beer can.
Stovepipe.
Stovepipe.
Changing the slip yoke position on this one. Originally the flange was on the transfer case. They had the slip yoke down at the differential. It's okay if you can. Ideally, you want the slip yoke uphill. The reason being is if you get any garbage in it, ideally it will come out of it. It actually kind of gets all the moving parts, I shouldn't say moving parts, but gets all the critical parts up away from the differential, up towards the transfer case. In theory, you're not going to be beating it up on the rocks and everything else.
So, with this is a 2 inch or 2 1/4?
It's a 2-inch, 1/4-inch wall.
2 inch, 1/4 inch wall DOM, heavy inch shaft. This is for a TJ, so this shaft's pretty short. If you get what I'm saying. So in this case it works okay, but if you had a 3-inch shaft you probably wouldn't want this down at the bottom getting beat up on rocks. But with this only being a 2-inch shaft, that's what this is over here. It's right at 2 inch, probably just over 1 3/4 inches, so it's almost identical. But if you had a big old monster shaft like this, you would want this at the bottom the way this one is set up. This is stronger than the tube is right here beating on rocks. So in this setup it works good, but not every application it's going to work that way. So the good part is keeps the splines out of the mud.
Yes, a typical on-road shaft is usually around an 083 for a rear shaft. This one, like I said, you're running a 1/4 inch wall. In theory, you won't be able to dent that thing. Most off-roaders can probably accept that as a challenge, and they'll find a way to dent it. But that's the difference mainly between an on-road and off-road shaft, is basically the size of everything that goes in it. The size of the tube, the spline's heavier, you got more slip going on. On-road stuff, the mall crawlers can get away with the smaller tube, the smaller wall.
Well, let's see some tubes real quick. Show us what we're talking about. All right, so we're going to show you the different sizes, right?
Yeah, typical on-road is 2-inch 120s, what you see in a lot of the front ends of stuff.
Hold that other 2-inch beside that one again.
Yeah, there's a slight difference between them.
Yeah, you see how much thicker that shaft is and how much thinner that one is. Big difference there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. They can take a little bit more abuse. That's an 083. That's what you see.
2.5?
I believe that one's 2 3/4.
2 3/4 inch shaft. Bigger shafts, you don't have to have as big of wall, big a thickness of wall on a bigger shaft. That's why the big old monster aluminum shafts, they can use those. But in an off-road world, that thing's going to dent like crazy.
Yes.
It's going to really dent really fast. I mean, that's, you can take a wrench and just ping those. Let's do that. Take a wrench and just tap on them.
Oh.
You better hear the difference. You hear how much more solid that is.
Yeah.
But there's a big difference in the big boy shafts.
Every one of them has its own use for what you're doing. You know, if you're just doing some weekend crawling or something like that, you don't need anything like that. If you're doing the full bore rock bouncing stuff, yeah, you probably need to go with the heavy duty stuff. But just everyday driving, you'll be fine with the 120 and the 83 on this stuff.
If you say so. Me being me.
No.
Me being me. Bigger's always better. And you want your rear shaft to bring you home. Remember that. If you want to run a thin, small shaft, so be it. But you want your rear shaft to bring you home, because you want to drive home in two-wheel drive either way. So, my opinion, go big or go home.
What's left out of the shaft that we built for your first one? The one that you can't tear all the shit.
Oh, I can't tear them to hell. I beat on them. That's good.
You actually tried.
Yeah, look how thick
to destroy
that is.
this.
That thing's a beast.
Yeah.
That's
But
what my shafts are made
For
out
what
of.
you're doing, this is what you want.
Oh, yeah.
Because that way you don't have to worry about getting home. Some people may not want you to get home, but this will get you there.
My dogs would appreciate it.
But that's a piece of what we used for the shaft that's in your Jeep now.
Sweet.
So
Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, what I'm going to do is we've already done this in. We've chamfered it down. We're going to rotate it, put it back in the lathe, chuck it up.
God, it's a massive freaking chuck on that thing.
Pull
Look
our
at
lid down. It's kind of a little bit of a protection. We're going to run this cutting tool up here. Alright, we're going to do a little chamfering on this piece here so we can get a good weld. Run about 150 in that, so trick is to come in on it without damaging your bit. Take it off a certain amount to get a good weld. We do all this by hand, so we're not setting up make sure we've got what we need. Taking the burrs out, we can cut it with a saw so it's got a good smooth surface to it. And this piece is ready to build this driveline right here.
So that was the final piece to the puzzle.
That is correct.
Alright, well that's sweet. So now what we'll do, we're going to hop over here. I'm going to show you what the old drive shaft looked like and just how perfectly balanced it was. And then we'll go from there. Right? Perfectly balanced?
Yes,
That's pretty good.
Hey, for a homebrew shaft, that thing is freaking mint.
It's not bad.
That thing is mint. Adam, why is that bouncing?
I How's that balancing?
Bouncing.
It's like homebrew. It's got a little wonkiness to it.
So what do we got there? About 70 thousandths? 60, 70 thousandths out of whack.
Got time. Joints running on the same plane. This one's 9 degrees apart.
Yeah, well you could tell it's quite crooked comparatively.
Tolerance on the time is 2
2
degrees.
And in time, tell everybody real quick what time is.
U joints running in the same plane. You don't run them running off of each other, because if you do, you'll actually get one running faster. They almost go like to an elliptical.
Yep. So this one needs to go straight up and down or crossways, whichever way, and then the one parallel to it needs to do the exact same within 2 degrees.
Right now.
I have a, what's this one, out around?
That's the true on the tube and stuff.
True on the tube, see how it is.
Make
and
sure
then
everything's straight.
these two are actual balance on the outside.
Yes.
You can see how out of phase this is. It's not horrible, but it's out of phase there. And then somebody laid some mad stringers down on that dude right there.
Let me lock your boat for you.
Oh yeah, there you go.
There's your phase and your timing on this one.
That's nice. But hey, that one was running true though, wasn't it? Remember how solid it was? Should I put that one on Craigslist?
I would put this out there for sale. This is a high quality item right here.
Yeah, you got a Knoxville Driveline sticker we'll put on the side of that thing?
Alright, what we done here was we built this up, we welded it up, and then we put it in our little machine in the back there. We call it the playroom. And machine this down to be able to press it inside this tube, because there's not enough meat on these when you buy them from the distributor. Doesn't matter what company you get them from, there's not enough on it. So we build them up to where we can turn them down to press them in here, and that way these things won't break. There's no way you're going to break a hub or break it off here.
So that one's longer than normal is what you're
Yes.
saying. Okay, well see, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
and
that just goes thicker too, because it's going to be stronger. It's not got a real thin hub on it like this. See?
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So we make them stronger.
So that one there is hollow on the inside,
Yep.
and then you filled this one in.
We build these to where they're stronger. That way when you machine this down and you press it in, there's no way it's going to break.
All right,
twist.
so that's part of the reason that when you buy an off-road shaft, guys, they cost more. Especially if you're going to have one for a TJ that's only a couple inches long, and it has a 2-inch shaft in it. You know, that explains a little bit of it when you're paying these guys. They put in a lot of work, so they did a lot of welding there and a lot of machining.
You know, we make both parts. When you leave here with one of our shaves,
did you weld that up too?
Yes, sir. When you leave here with one of our shaves, we want you to. Only time you want to come back is if you're building another Jeep.
Or to say hi.
Yeah, or just
Hey,
come by,
everything
bring
breaks.
us a big
Remember
cheeseburger
that,
or something.
but everything breaks. But
Well, we try to keep you out of the shops, keep you back in the woods as far as, as much as possible, so you can enjoy what we build you.
And I feel that that's what all drive shaft shops are about. I don't know that any of them want to say you shaft 100 times.
You don't necessarily have to come here. We want you to come here. We'll take your money, but just go to a reputable driveline shop. Real. There's a guy down in Tampa, driveline specialist. You got Tom over in Carolina. You got this guy in Vegas. I'm not going to mention any names, but Mr. Adams, we share the same name.
Yeah,
they do a lot of stuff.
You go at High Angle. He's in Cali, right?
Jesse, we talked to Jesse yesterday. He's supposed to be sending us some yokes. Jesse makes some weird one-off stuff. That's
his stuff's really
nice.
trick.
It is very nice. He makes some pretty cool stuff.
And his stuff is double what a normal shaft costs, or better.
It is high-dollar stuff.
But it's if you have the need for it, that's the shaft you need.
We go get driveline work done. Do yourself a favor and go to a driveline shop and have it done. Homebrew stuff will get you out of the woods and get you down the road. But if you're going to spend the money building a rig, go the extra mile and do it the right way.
I agree. Now, one cool thing is just you guys are all in the same business. You're located all across the U.S., but you all still conversate and respect each other.
Yes.
And just keep in mind the price of shafts. Sometimes, guys, you may see a cheaper shaft. It's not that the guys don't build awesome shafts, but they may not have thick tubing. They may not be doing all the machine work. And then you may see a shaft that is $800-900, and you wonder why, and it's because of everything that goes into the machine work and the time and the labor, as well as the materials. Some of the materials cost more if you're going to use true Spicer parts.
We don't press anything in, because when you press, you run a joint. You can run a U-joint, or you can bend this, So we use a hammer, you know. It's
You know.
an old ball peen hammer, and it works great. Been using it for over 20-some years.
That hammer?
Well, yep, that hammer's been with me a long time.
Really?
Yep.
I think that thing's brand new. It's like a week old from Harbor Freight. That's what it would look like.
Well, it probably came from Harbor Freight. You notice the nice handle?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you don't get that everywhere.
No, I know. You don't. Have you ever missed and dented your brand new one and you had to do all the hard work to get the C-clip in?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we got all these little tools here for different size U-joints. So when you do this, you're not damaging the center of the joint by beating it to death. You just put that on there and turn it over.
So are these homebrew pliers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are they homebrew?
Yeah. Isn't that nice?
I'm confused right here. There's homebrew pliers here. Like,
See, even in the greatest of technology, there's a little homebrew in everybody. See, that holds that snap ring when you drop it in there. Now, if you want to take it out, you can use this one. That takes them out without having to.
why hasn't somebody told me to make my own freaking snap ring plier thingies?
It's a secret.
It's not a secret now.
Trade secret, baby.
It's not a secret now.
Going in, what I'm doing now, I'm checking to make sure all my snap rings are flat and flush, because that's the center of the U-joint when you do that. Okay, and all of them so far is that way, except we got one right here that's not. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our little tool and we're going to just give it a light peck and see how it centered it on both sides.
Yeah, it's all flat
and then
now.
see how smooth that turns.
Yeah, so you
So
don't
that's
want you want equal pressure,
Yes.
right, in both directions.
Yes, sir.
So here's a little cylinder, runs off of a pump somewhere, because I recognize this stuff, and that little cylinder is how they're going to press this whole shaft together. That's super neat. So they're assembling it, and are those adjustable?
You got different heights for different size tube.
Oh, okay, look at that. See, this stuff's scientific. This ain't guesswork. That makes sense. There's that hammer again. I know what we're. Well, I don't know if we should get you one for Christmas or not. That may offend you.
I've got new hammers over there. You won't use them.
Well, you got those damn metal shanked East Wings. Nobody really wants those. Get stuck in there all the damn time.
The thing about using that wire is you can well dispose of it.
Whoa! Hold on, I gotta come over here.
Good.
So now we're pressing that in, huh?
Yep. Yep, we're good there. Now we're going to put the other in.
That's all we're doing?
Yep.
Oh, I missed all the good stuff.
Well, you're
No,
fixing to
the
get
other
some
end
more
of
good
it
stuff.
gets-
This
Okay,
is,
I just saw something here. This is cool. Look at this. This right here is the damn lock jaw, boys. Check that out. Look at that. How redneck is that? That's simple as can be. That's cool. It's simple life sometimes.
The guy that builds these things puts a lot of effort into making them user friendly.
You talking about the lathe or the shaft?
Yeah.
So that little dobby over there is what makes it that thing like matches the yoke or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
see, we're timing this with one tooth up or one spine up because your slip yoke is a 16 spine.
That's for the aligning the yokes.
And sometimes it takes a minute or two because
Your hammer's out of whack.
yeah, my hammer gets
It's not. His hammer's not balanced.
That thing's perfectly tuned to him.
If that hammer was balanced correctly.
And you'll see your timing. We're setting dead zero.
0. That says 2.
Does it?
Yeah.
How about that? Well, you're 2 degrees off anyway, so
2/10.
Yeah,
2/10.
No, it's 0. It's perfect. I'm just messing with him. I'm making him
I was
recheck
gonna
his
say, well,
goggles.
he's one. You got one.
This is our parts area. We're actually down on a lot of our Spicer joints, just about out of the 1310s. We keep non-greasable stuff. You get some people come in here and they want greasables. we try and steer everybody towards the non-greasables. It's a better setup. Everybody says they'll grease their stuff. They never actually do it. Just a small little parts area. We've got a lot of stuff crammed in a lot of corners.
That's the way every shop is, my friend.
Yeah, it gets pretty wild sometimes. That's the fun part, trying to keep up with what we need when we need it, when it's all got to be here.
I'm sure that there's a lot of money sitting on shelves.
$1 or $2.
Because this stuff isn't cheap when you start talking about them being $100 each.
No, and we're actually down. We're waiting on 2 stock orders to get here Monday with everything that's good.
When you press them in, 90% of the time they're going to be out. So you got to dial them in. So I always start on the spline end because that's the longest part to get straight. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to dial this thing in about some thousand. So we got about half of it that time. Yeah, we're getting close. We're within about 12 thousandths. So we're going to go one more time right there. And right now we're within about, I think about 6. Yeah, about 6 thousandths. But now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back down here and take my wire out. And hopefully this is good enough to where we don't have to do a whole lot of beating on this end. And we're going to try to dial off the hub and see where we're at. Okay. Alright. We're a little off here, so let's see if we can get some of that out. Oh yeah.
Oh man, look at you. You act like you've done that before.
Every now and then I get lucky. You know, so we done pretty good. We got within about 6 on that one, so let's see if we can get just a tad more. We got a little dillberry there. So let's go back down
Dillberry?
here. Yeah, call it the dillberry.
Most people call it debris, you know.
Yeah.
A little weld splatter, dillberry.
Yeah, but we're trying to be technical here, and you're not helping them. You know that?
You gotta understand his Union County English.
Oh, you're from Union County? I'm
No,
sorry.
I am from La Follette originally. I just
Well, that's even
reside
worse.
in Union County at the
probably
present.
that's probably worse.
Hey, La Follette.
Is that like 3 or 4?
Yeah, we're about 4, I think. And I go from end to end.
Until you get it right.
So, well, if you get it all here, by the time you get down here, this is going to be more, you know, out as much as it was. And then when you dial it in, because it's all in one, it's going to be one piece. So we're within 4. So let's go back down.
Did y'all get that? Because I understand what I think he was trying to say, but I think he confused himself and he just kept talking. I'm not real sure. I'll be honest with you.
Okay. Alright, that's close enough to weld. And we're going to need just a little more right here. Oh, come on, baby. Come on. Yeah, that's what I want. Now that's under specs right there, and that should weld good.
Oh, look, you set up the welding jig. I was wondering if you were going to do the whole thing by hand. I didn't think you would. Oh, those are nice.
The span is so long that they'll tweak on you when you're welding them. So we do a little kind of put a little persuader on them. This works wonders. Sometimes I put a little heat in it, depending on.
See the needle move.
See, we went from 30 to about 7 thousandths drawed.
You have to pay the water
We
bill.
just changed the water. It's got air pockets in it. There we go. See that needle move?
You say so, but
Well,
I understand that it
every time I do that, it moves.
That's
Yeah.
sweet. Isn't it sweet? They're going to heat shit, put water on it, and make it move.
That needle moving, climbing. That needle has climbs and put the heat to it. Now I feel it. See how it's dropping? It's pulling it back.
Wow, that is cool. I never knew that. That is super cool.
Now we'll see how much it pulled it. We got 20 thousandths on this side of it. Now we got to get another 10. See how it changed from here to here?
Yeah.
It's pulling in a different direction because we're making it go back to where it's supposed to be. So let me go over here right here. And that handle start rising. Now it'll start dropping again. So, you know,
Is your hole what? No, it's not blown. We good now?
yep. That's what you want. Mother Nature works her ways. This is straight from being welded before it's ever balanced. You're about 2 thousandths out of balance here, and you're about 3 to 4 here. So we're going to crank this dude up, see if we can get it better. What's your balance there now? You're dead 1,000th.
That's pretty badass for an off-road shaft.
And we're about 4 right here, so we're going to balance this in and get you down a little better.
Wow, that's neat. So that is really cool.
And a lot of times, what we'll do is we'll let this thing sit and run and cool, let the welds cool and distribute all the heat before we balance it. Because if you don't, the heat will change the whole balance of the driveline. Now this end up here won't change hardly any because we've cooled it and we've had to draw it, you know, to get it to place itself back where it needs to be. So we're going to let it run there and cool just a minute.
Steve uses the old school way, just throw it on there by touch, and it's pretty damn good with it. I use the marker, which is what the machine was set up for.
So we have a bracket and a thread, it looks like, with a Sharpie in it.
See it touch the spindle?
Yeah.
See what made the mark?
Yeah.
If I did it right, the mark will be
Only in
just
one spot?
Only in one spot, exactly.
Uh-oh, I can see it.
There's your high spot, which is your heavy spot.
Because that thing floats in there.
That's exactly right.
Let me see, what's that look like? Did you make this?
No, it come with the machine.
Oh, neat
The
as
guy
that.
that makes this machine does some pretty neat
Goes
stuff.
right through that hole right there. That's cool. So now we're going to weld a washer on there.
We're going to test it first.
We're going to clamp it. Then it'll be really out of whack, wouldn't it? Super glue?
That's it, baby. Gorilla Glue.
Holy moly. There's a lot of Miller in this shop. I can tell you're a Miller fan. You like the blue stuff. I like the blue stuff too. Got her down to about 2 there on the balance. On this side, there's a pretty good sized weight right there because it's, I want to say the tube's so heavy. We don't normally balance these because there's no point, and you're just messing around with it because you can right now. But what's specs from Spicer?
Spicer says anything below 10. We try to shoot anything below 2.
Yeah, and we were at 4.
It started at 4. We're down to about 2 now. So I mean, it's good for what we want.
And you would be able to run down the interstate and never have an issue,
Oh, yeah.
which is totally pointless. And that weight right there will get knocked off in no time because that's just how they go.
Your homebrew shaft, then when we had it in there earlier, you hear all this crap that they're rattling and carrying on. We're turning about the same RPM now as we were then. You don't hear anything out of it.
That's a wrap, guys. We have successfully, and I say we, I was here, you know, heckling, you know how I am, but these guys built an awesome shaft. There's no doubt that this thing's going to hold up to the test of time. I want to tell Adam and Captain Steve here, thank you for building this, as well as Adam. You have anything else to say?
If you need anything else, hit us up. Any other kind of driveline stuff, we'll take care of you.
All right. Well, I'll show you their phone number right here to be in the description. But you can kind of see what goes into this, how much effort they put into the off-road shaft. If you just need a normal shaft, it's not going to have all that effort, but it's very much the same. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment below. I thought this was interesting. I had never actually seen how this went, and the coolest part was watching Steve put the water on the shaft to move it around. That was super cool.
It's a magical secret, don't tell.
Is it?
Yeah, it's trade secrets.
Yeah, that was a trade
Well,
secret.
that trade secret's about to be YouTube secret.
Did you not sign your non-disclosure when you came in?
Well, then what's the point of a video?
Just
Yeah.
remember, if bigger is better.
Bigger is better.
Yeah.
That comes from the Shaft Master.
Shaft Master. Thank you, guys. See you next time.
See you guys. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, good. So it takes me.